Thursday, and
Is it ready?
I was in there late. I just, shut off.
Call this meeting to order. Stuart City Council tentative agenda, Monday, September 8th, 2025, 6 p.m. Council chambers. Call to order. Kirkpatrick.
Here.
Dolly.
Here.
Russell.
Here.
Morgan.
Here.
Cabo.
Here.
Agenda approval. Consent agenda approval of minutes of regular meeting 8/11/2025 and special meeting of 8/25/2025. Approval of financial statements as of 8/31/2025. Approval of bills as presented. Approval of liquor license. I won't read all of those.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I'm gonna make a motion, but I just wanna put it
Okay.
out there. Do we need any discussion on these liquor licenses like we had on the last ones? Or are we okay with this? We're good. We're good? Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Okay. Moved by Combo.
Second.
Second. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick.
Yes.
Dolly.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Morgan.
Yes.
Cabo.
Yep.
Okay. 4 private sewer line on North Fremont Street, Melissa. And after you're done, I'll have Jim Henderson address.
So, my name is Melissa Guthrie. I live at 703 North Fremont, and I'm here tonight because my basement repeatedly floods with raw sewage. I have been having sewage backup issues since around 2012, but it grew worse around 2014, where raw sewage, is coming up through the drain hole in my basement. My plumbers are not able to be here tonight, but I'm willing to speak to whoever they need to speak to. The cause of this issue is a private-owned clay sewer line, which is owned by Stuart Friends Church. My plumbers were able to drop a camera down where my line ends and found that huge tree roots along with huge holes where the pipe is completely gone. They also took video of this and sent it to the city. This was a few years ago, so I'm sure that the issue has grown worse by now. Raw sewage and toilet paper are getting clogged in the sewer line until it backs up into my basement, which I have provided photos for. This issue happens frequently, and a few years ago, I was given a grant for a backflow valve to be installed, and it still has not prevented this issue from happening. The only response I've received is that the city does not own the pipes, so there's nothing that they can do. I was told to contact Stuart Friends Church as they are the owners of this line. After speaking to Vi Jones, the representative of the church, she told me that they don't own it and that was given back to the city, which the city has documentation that the board declined the transfer of the sewer line. I have asked for legal documentation of who owns the line from both the city and Stuart Friends Church, which no one is able to produce. According to City Code 95.03, number 3, the superintendent records and maintains a complete and accurate record of all sewer lines, sewage connections, and manholes constructed, showing the location and grades thereof. So I'm not sure why there wouldn't be any legal documentation that I can obtain. Every time it backs up, it causes me to have to call my plumbers to come out and aquajet the line. Sometimes this fix only lasts for about a month before it backs up again. Each time I have to call the plumbers, it comes to come out, it costs me $350, and sometimes I've had to pay $700 in a month. I have even reached out to the DNR when I found that raw sewage is emptying out underground due to the holes in the line. They told me that a solution that would help would be to have a septic system installed in my backyard. They told me that they were not able to do anything to help me fix it, since I am tied onto the private lines, and that the ones who own the line should be responsible to fix it. I am the sole provider for my household and struggle to even pay for the necessities per month. $350 means I can't pay for food, lawn mowing, medicine, etc. It places a huge hardship on me as I have lost days of work to have to take care of the sewage backup, not to mention that the damage that it is doing to my home and my family's health. There are times when my plumbers are not able to come out for up to 3 to 4 days, meaning I have raw sewage sitting in my basement. We are not able to shower, do dishes, laundry, or flush unless absolutely necessary. I have been dropped from 2 homeowners insurance companies due to having to file claims for these issues. I have called the city and told them that raw sewage is owner is responsible to make repairs to the line and was told that the city cannot make anyone do anything with private property. On a citation notice, one of the boxes available to check is public hazard. I would consider raw sewage emptying out above and underground a public hazard. Nowhere does it state that a private citizen is responsible to tell the owner of a private sewer line to maintain the line. This should not be my responsibility, nor should I be the one in charge of contacting the owners of this line to try to convince them to fix it. I feel that it is the city's responsibility when there is a code violation. Just because you cannot see the sewer line does not mean that the issue should not be addressed. I was told by the city that my option would be to have the street dug up, connect my line to the city line, and pay to have the street repaved. Again, I can barely afford basic necessities. If the line would be properly repaired, I would not be having these issues. This is a matter of public health and safety. Raw sewage in a resident's basement flowing above and underground is not just my problem. It endangers a wider community and sets a troubling precedent if ignored. I would like a resolution to this beyond just an I'm sorry, there is nothing we can do. Since I do not own or control this line, I should not be held responsible for the damage and health hazard it is causing to my home or surrounding area where the line is. This issue has already cost me several days of lost wages, several thousands to fix the issue short-term, time and stress, and will continue to do so unless the situation is addressed and resolved.
I would like to have Jim Henderson address that issue. Jim, have you ever heard of a backflow preventer not working?
Well, only ones that aren't put in properly, or if they have something lodged in them.
And how many septic tanks systems do we have in town? The one up near Neil's, that new house.
Three, probably four.
Four, okay.
The city code does state that if you are farther than 100 feet from a city sanitary sewer, then you are allowed to put in a septic.
Right.
Only under those circumstances.
Right.
As for the private line, we, as she did mention, we don't control those. And the reason when the Friends Church probably tried to deed that over to the city, that the city didn't accept it, is there's not a manhole on the north end of it, so we have no way to maintain it. We can't jet it, we can't clean it or anything, because there's no access point on the north end. We really don't, I mean, we don't have control of it. It belongs to the Friends Church. There again, the Friends Church isn't having an issue, so, you know, their theory on it is if it's not broke, I'm not fixing it. To them, it's not broke because it's gonna be functioning in that. And for the adjoining property next to it, that used to belong to the Friends Church, but is now since private residence.
How far from her sewer line out to the manhole? So if she was gonna disconnect and shoot out to that manhole on
Probably 100 feet,
100,
maybe 100 feet,
okay,
and through, part of it's paved intersection,
yeah,
it's all concrete.
yeah, okay,
Is that property in between also on that same line?
Because that belonged to the Friends Church at that time. So they, the church and that house are both tied up to that line. As well as,
and you're not aware of that house having any issues as
no,
well?
neither one of them do.
No? Okay,
I think
I'm on
the
the
issue.
downward slope of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grade fall is coming that way.
Yeah.
I know Mike went up with me, we dye tested it to show her that it does go to the sanitary, goes to that manhole through that private line.
mm-hmm,
I think the video that I saw of it, the issue that I'm seeing is right there where the connection's made onto that private line. I mean, that was done prior to her ownership of the property.
Sure.
That was a prior owner.
how many times have you paid to have that jetted out?
I can't even begin to guess. Just this year, probably a good 4, 5, maybe 6 times. And my plumbers keep telling me to, if you would get it fixed, then you wouldn't, because this is becoming very costly to get
Did you obtain a bid from them on if they were going to fix that connection or run your sewer line to the manhole or anything? Have you got a bid from,
I have
Whoever,
not, just
yeah.
because I was, mainly during a lot of that time, I was going back and forth with the
Sure.
city and the church that no one wanted to claim that they owned the line.
yeah,
And the city, the church itself still is under the belief that they don't own the line.
well, obviously they have to own the line.
Right.
Cause like Jim stated, you know, without a manhole on the upper end, there's no way for us to do that. I'm gonna say something that you don't want me to say, but I'm sorry for what you're going through. It does stink, no pun intended, but when it comes to a sewer, a private line, that's the homeowners. Even if my line at my current house, I have to maintain that clear out to the main. That's
Should
mine.
the church be required to maintain that line then, since they own it and I do not?
That would probably be up to them, since if they do own it, and if Jim is saying that they own it, that's their deal.
So why can't a citation be drawn up
I
for
don't,
them to get it fixed, just like with overgrown weeds or anything like that?
sure. I don't know if, I guess I don't know. I don't know if they're not in compliance. I haven't seen any videos. I'm just going by what you guys are saying. So I don't know if there's any, anything,
And I'm sure if there's a hole down by my connection, I'm sure there's holes throughout that pipe, not just at
oh,
mine.
without question, and I'm not gonna argue that by no means. I'm sure there is. But if they're saying they're not having any problems and the other house isn't having any problems, like I said, everybody that owns a home, you're responsible for that line to the main, whether it's in the middle of the street, on the other side of the street, that's ours. And like I said, and I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but that's not what you wanna hear. I get that. If you were hooked up to the regular main or whatever, and there was an issue, we might be able to entertain a conversation, but I remember you came in here a few years ago too. I was sitting right here as well, and it's unfortunate, but I think our hands are kind of tight too. It's one of them things where, you know, once I did find out about this, I was racking my brain, drove up by there, looking at everything, but I personally can't come up with a good solution for it, to be honest with you, Melissa. So, unless one of my teammates up here knows something else, but that's kind of where I stand with things.
It'd be tough for our code enforcement to, you know, to do it without some sort of a issue like in the ditch or something, you know, where it showed up there. You know, I'm sure they're not gonna probably crawl down in that manhole and spend $1,000 to run a camera up there for the city. However, have you ever contacted legal aid in Iowa? And they said, hey, here's my situation.
I cannot find a lawyer because I guess they're, I've tried.
So but you've reached out to legal aid in
I
Iowa?
have.
Okay.
The only other issue stems to the point, the previous owner of that residence, did they have permission to tie onto that?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
That's the other question.
And that's one thing
I mean, that's been done, you know, previous to
God.
Melissa, but,
Yeah.
you know, did they have permission to tie onto it?
So they put on the backflow preventer. Where did they put that? Where did they install that?
Backflow is in the backyard, straight in from where the tap is at, probably, I don't know, 50, 60 feet.
How deep is it?
I would guess it's probably less than 8.
Because those you almost need accessible to maintain them if there's something caught in it.
And there is a pipe that is sticking out.
Oh,
from
clean.
the
For a
back.
clean out pipe, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, I met with Melissa a couple weeks ago and we talked and explored some potential options outside of what could be provided, you know, since my opinion was the city wouldn't have many options that we could do. And, you know I sent you a few options for, grants to potentially look at. I don't know if you've had a time to look at a few of those. Again, the issue stems with, is it a legal connection with the church? And if so, would they be willing to, as a nonprofit, they probably have more leverage to pull with grants and stuff that they could look at to get those repairs made, either just that specific repair or the replacement of their entire line, since it most likely is completely clay.
Information on if permits were obtained to tie on, it was some Keys who owned the property before me, and I had called, Margaret Tiernan, since she's the one who sold my mom the property, and I can't find any information about any sewer lines or permits or anything.
I mean, something like that, I mean, if done properly, should be on like the title or the deed stating they've got an easement and
And I
potentially a
talked to
connection for
Margaret
that,
Tiernan
right?
Just like a few weeks ago, and she was
It's
saying that there was
back then.
nothing.
Yeah, but back then,
Back then.
who knows when it was done?
Right.
Considering it's a clay line,
That's-
it's
yeah.
got some age to it.
That's the issue, is how long ago it was put in, probably,
Yeah.
you know, that's why you can't find anything, on it. And I'm kinda shocked that the DNR didn't have any other suggestions, you know, if they know about it. You know, but I'm not an attorney, so I don't know, you know, maybe, you know, I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah.
Forrest, is there any pump system that could be put in to push it? I mean, we got our lift stations here in town, but I have something on private.
No, it's if it's plugging
Oh, bro,
Collapsed,
yeah.
tree
It
lines.
just push
curves,
back.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll need
Why?
to dig down, see the backflow preventer and see what's happening.
Even
Yeah.
backflow preventer, if things are plugged up, it'll clog up through the backflow.
Yeah,
Before it shuts off, probably, yeah.
yeah.
And you'll plug yourself up.
Mhm. Hmm. And who installed that for you, Melissa?
I don't remember, it was a plumbing company that, the people who owned the grant, I don't know if it was Miller Plumbing, I don't remember.
Hmm. And you had that installed after, the last time you was up here, and we had a discussion? Was it after that yet? Within the last couple of
Well,
years?
the last time I was here, it was over the siding and stuff like that, it wasn't with sewer issues.
I remember that there was a sewer issue. Cause I'm on my 4th year, and I remember you coming up here and saying that you had some sewer issue. And I'm not saying that you're a liar, by no means, I'm not saying that. But I thought we had a sewer problem there a few years ago.
It's been maybe about 3 or so years ago
Okay.
that it was installed,
Oh, okay,
at least.
okay.
I think it was after Jim and I went down and dyed it, that
Yeah,
you had that
exactly.
done, so however long that was, couldn't tell you how long that was.
Right.
It's been a while.
I've been dealing with this for quite a while.
Yeah.
I just can't afford it anymore.
Yeah. I guess the only solution that I can come up with, Melissa, and it's nothing that you want to hear, but the only thing that I can come up with is that I would be willing to stop by personally and help you look at things and see if we can come up with a solution. But as far as the city, I hate to say, I don't think that's, bag of worms that we want to open up, because if we do it for you, we have to do it for everybody else, and you are technically responsible for the line clear out to the main. So, that's kind of where I
Even though
stand.
I don't own that part of the line.
Yeah, because, I mean, we can't force the church to make sure your stuff is taken care of. I don't think legally we can do that, with that being a private line on them. I don't know, without talking to, council on that, but, I would say that we could not walk into the church's doors and say, you will fix that. I don't, if they're not having any problems on their side of things.
Well,
But,
and I know that other stuff has come up through that drain, that products that myself or my daughter do not use.
sure.
And so I'm basically getting everybody, when I
Oh,
saw
for sure,
stuff like
yeah.
that, I'm getting everybody's stuff in my basement,
Yeah.
not just my own.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and if you're on the downhill slide of things,
Right.
yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that is bad. But I would be willing, like I said, I would be willing to stop up, have a conversation with you, and see if we can't look over some things and see if we can't figure out something, so.
And
But-
I think Craig said it well too, like that, maybe the Friends Church can apply for some sort of grant, that they might have a few more levers to pull on that. But, yeah, unfortunately, I think it's gonna come down to, they would have to do something with that part of the line on their end.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll leave it, you'll visit with me.
Yeah, I'll go visit with her. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 5, White Pole Road, Brenda.
Hello, I'm the coordinator of White Pole Road, and several years ago, before I took this position, the 14th Highway, State Highway, together, we got a grant to put these kiosks on every highway, and we're just now getting the money and going ahead with it. The kiosk, there'll be one, and, I talked to Jim not too long ago, and there'll be one on White Pole Road, and we're, if it's okay with you guys, we're gonna put it right outside City Hall in the picture there.
Where Jim's standing?
Yes.
That's what I thought. You posed really
I
good,
just thought it
Jim.
was a nice picture of Jim.
Got your good side, Jim.
So we originally talked about putting it across the street, but it's a two-sided kiosk, so we thought if we put it there, it's kind of good for people who would, probably more people would really see that.
Yeah, looks very nice.
They were originally gonna do it this fall, but they're way behind, so probably next spring.
Nice. Okay.
Is that something that the city would install for me?
I don't think it'd take too much, just to anchor it down, some concrete tap-cons or something, or anchors or something.
Shim plumbing.
Yeah.
No issues with snow or anything in that
No,
location?
There's enough room for paving on both sides.
Need a motion?
You can make a motion.
Motion on it.
Need a motion. I'll move.
Moved by Morgan,
Second.
second. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kava.
Yes.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thanks, Brenda.
Before I leave, we're also, we paint poles, and I come before asking for money.
Yeah.
I've got some new board members, and we are planning it's a cruise and shop tour on October 10th through the 12th. Just, we're selling tickets, businesses will offer a discount, so I'm just gonna give those to you, you can pass them,
Perfect.
just
Okay.
let you know what's going on.
All right, thank you.
Okay, community safety measures, Travis.
Very cool.
So I had a couple of safety things that I've noticed personally. My name's Travis, got a business on Monroe. Been here since 2013. Obviously since 2013, a lot of growth in the community. But one thing I've noticed in particular is the increase in traffic uptown, going either across the interstate or getting on the interstate or whatever. And a couple of things that have concerned me. Number one would be the on-ramp towards Des Moines, going into town, in particular in summer peak traffic. During, I would say 8 to 9 months of the year, not a huge deal, but during peak summer traffic months, I usually average anywhere from 3 to 5 times that I have to literally take the shoulder to merge onto the interstate because there's too much truck traffic coming from behind the bridge. And I think it's a combination of the on-ramp turning and then correcting straight on. And then with the bridge right here, you only have about 3 or 4 seconds to react to somebody merging on. And I actually measured the distance from where the on-ramp starts to where it starts forcing you over. It's only about 200 feet. And going about 50 miles an hour, that gives you about 2.5 to 3 seconds to adjust and get into traffic. Otherwise, you either bounce off traffic or go off the road or take the shoulder like I have. And it's one of the only places in Iowa, there's 2 ramps that I particularly aim just because of how much traffic flow. And I've driven, I average about 30 to 35,000 miles a year, so lots of driving, but it is a very dangerous on-ramp in particular when truck traffic keeps growing. I know I think we're putting another truck stop, I believe, next year, or it's in the works. And with all those trucks coming and getting on the interstate, it creates a bottleneck also at the end of the ramp. And I've gone as slow as 25 miles an hour hitting that curve, and traffic is coming at 70 plus, and it's just a matter of time. Obviously, it hasn't happened, but I think it's a very dangerous on-ramp, and if we can get an Iowa DOT traffic engineer to come out and take a look and see at ways of potentially extending that ramp out, or whatever, just even another 150 feet would help tremendously. But I just know that I finally got sick and tired of it a few weeks ago when I ran off the road again because there was back-to-back truck traffic, and I only got about 25 feet, and my truck and trailer is about exactly that gap. So rather than try to thread the needle in between two semis, which isn't too smart, I decided to take the shoulder for about another 150 to 200 feet, get up to speed, and then finally merge over. But the problem with that strategy is that I have noticed one time there was a stalled car on the shoulder within that distance, and given the right circumstances, obviously, again, it hasn't happened, doesn't mean it can't, but the car could potentially be in a situation where they gotta decide between merging into a semi or hitting a car on the side of the road because there's not enough ramp to get onto the interstate. And I feel with the amount of traffic that keeps growing, with all the trucks we're attracting, that eventually, at some point, something's gonna happen, because I've seen as many as 2 or 3 of them back to back merging on. At that point, you're just at the mercy of traffic of what's gonna let you merge on. So myself try to go very conservatively. I try to give them a way large berth to get way ahead of me so I can try and adjust myself, but I've just found there's just way too many times I have to take the shoulder. And I think I did do a little research. It looks like the Iowa DOT is gonna be doing some bridge work, I believe, in 2026. I believe there's a project plan, but there's no specifics on that. I'm not sure if that involves widening the bridge or doing bridge repair work. I can see there's a project plan, I believe, for that bridge. And then the second thing would be another big item is I come back late at night. I'm usually coming back anywhere between 8:30 and 9:30, sometimes as late as 10 o'clock at night. A lot of times, a lot of trucks are just getting in for the night. And usually what they do is they stop, park either at McDonald's, Casey's, or wherever. Well, when they park at Casey's kitchen, I believe, is closed at 8 or 8:30, and so there's no hot food available, so they elect to go to McDonald's across the street, which is fine. But the problem I've seen is twice I've been driving at night, and again, I make sure I pay attention, but 2 times I've seen somebody literally just dead sprint across the highway in the middle of the night with no protection, no nothing. I think that's a real big challenge, because I think I counted today, because I tried to figure out what would even be a practical solution without getting extravagantly expensive. And there's a lot of things to work with. I believe there's 12 access points within about a quarter mile on each side of Come and Go and Casey's. So it makes for a nightmare to try and concurrently monitor all those driveways and get across. And the only thing I could reasonably think of, which people of course in the city are probably not gonna be happy with, would be putting in a 4-way stop, and then also a crosswalk, light up protection system to make sure that somebody can safely cross. Cause I just feel that's another, again, a matter of time before somebody gets hit or gets killed, potentially, because people are rolling through there at 35, 40 miles an hour, and a semi at that speed is more than capable of killing. So I think either a 4-way or some sort of bridge or underground, but that would be probably extravagantly expensive, and a city like us probably can't do that. So I think the most reasonable potential proposal, and again, when we got like a traffic engineer from the Iowa DOT, maybe have them come out, and I could even share my concerns and share my experiences, but someone to take a look at that, because I think those are 2 critical safety measures to take a look at.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thanks,
But,
Travis.
and you might like to hear this, we're actually having a study done to look at putting lights up at different spots. Could be possibly at the exit from the interstate there, or even at McDonald's, 8th Street there. So that could be incorporated. I know it doesn't solve it right now. I don't know what we could do right now unless, if Jim or Chief Rehas have some ideas. I don't know if he can.
I was guessing it was gonna take a matter of the Iowa DOT doing some sort of
Well,
study to get enough
Yeah, especially the ramp, probably you would know more about that. They'd have to
Yeah.
get involved on that, cause we can't go to the state and say, hey, lengthen that,
Right.
you know? And I don't know anything about a bridge. Do you know what's going on with that?
I do not. I do not know. I work for the DOT. I do not know of anything coming up in 26 for widening or anything on this bridge.
Maybe there's another bridge close by, but.
Everything's kind of going that way from
Yeah.
Des Moines. As far as the ramp goes, yes, I do talk to the engineer for our district almost weekly. I did read the stuff in the packets. I was going to email him today just to maybe talk with him and kind of give you a little bit more information tonight. However, I got busy today and I wasn't able to, but that is on my to-do list tomorrow. I will reach out to him and just see if there's anything that we can do or at least study it. I do know closer to the metro, we have been looking at and maybe possibility of kind of like if you've ever been up in the Minneapolis area, they do metering, you know, where they meter so many, yeah. So I know in the metro coming a little west, that is something that has been looked at in discussion. I'm not saying it's going anywhere. I'm just saying it's been talked about.
Do you have any idea what the expense would be? I'm guessing they would have to extend the shoulder and asphalt over the existing shoulder. Any idea what the cost would be?
I would not. Forrest would have a better idea at that than I would. I don't do that kind of work. I'm just in the maintenance part of things. So I would have no idea, to be honest with you, what that would
I was
cost.
gonna work with whoever to get something. Like
Sure.
I'm sick and tired of taking the shoulder and eventually at some point, something's gonna happen because that bottleneck can get pretty backed up and if the wrong person's coming at the wrong speed, not paying attention. it
Sure.
can be a fatality.
I will reach out for sure and have a conversation and just see what they have to say. And I would be more than welcome to circle back and just to
You have-
provide.
I think I sent the information to you. so
Yeah.
if you guys reach out to me, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yep.
Thanks,
one
Chad.
thing, Chief or Jim, do you guys have any ideas on what could be done out there in the meantime to kind of maybe draw attention that people might be crossing there at 8th Street? I don't know what
So,
like-
something that just came to mind, ironically Minnesota too, but we were up on vacation up there a couple months ago, and for like high pedestrian traffic crosswalks, they have these really bright flashing, like LED orange lights that go off when someone hits the button.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
talking about. It's kind of, it's also solar too, right?
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
sure the LED is probably not too expensive anymore, but I don't know.
Okay, yeah, well, I didn't, yeah, I mean.
I know that.
The only thing I would be concerned about is traffic going over the hills and paying attention to set people up to get.
Absolutely.
Sure, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
I
think
wanna
you-
make sure there's enough distance for.
You bring up valid points all the way around.
Yeah.
It is, like you said, it's a nightmare out there. There's a
Yeah,
lot of-
and
It
twice I've
is.
seen people just literally dead sprint in the middle of the night and if someone's not paying attention. they're
Well,
making
it
choices.
happens all day too, I mean, it really does,
Yeah.
just to keep driving around. I agree with you, there's a lot of exits kind of all flowing into that one little area, and it's just, it's chaotic. So, but
Hey.
that's the only thing I could think of is a
Yeah,
more
crosswalk.
visible crosswalk of some sort.
Some sort of, even if it's not a flashing sign, like, you know, pedestrian crossing sign, just something that throws up there so people say, hey, you know, there could be somebody walking, you know?
There's
Yeah.
a crosswalk there.
Yeah. Even if
So
you.
we would need to have,
Have to have a crosswalk to be able to put signs up.
so.
Well, that's,
you-
I should say
talk
too,
us
where do
through
you,
the process on that for us.
where do you
when
put it?
come
There's
up
so
here.
many of the,
Yeah.
there are so many little interchanges and stuff
Right.
over there too. I see people all the time, you know, mainly truck drivers, I would assume, but, you know,
In particular,
running back and forth.
Who walks there daily, I know he's done it daily, but
Mhm.
doesn't mean that someone might not be paying attention.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I,
So this it may come up to us in the interim until we, you know, hear about the traffic lights and stuff, is that we do set up a crosswalk at some point out there, and make one out there so we can put some signage up and have that until we can get a more permanent solution, you know?
Yeah.
DeSoto's got them now, there by the Dollar General and Ambrose.
Mhm.
They do have some flashing lights out.
Yeah.
I
Something,
just wanna make sure that we weren't setting people up, 'cause like I said, lots
Right.
of truck traffic. comes
Right.
sure.
Through, I wanna make sure there's plenty of advance warning to make sure it's somebody's gonna.
Yeah.
No, exactly. So, yeah, we're kind of started the process, you know, looking at the traffic lights and stuff, and, you know, we can work on getting something interim for the crossing and stuff.
I'm guessing the 4 would be the nightmare trying to put in, but that would be the safest.
That's,
route.
yeah, no, I agree.
It's
Okay.
amazing we haven't had
Something?
more car accidents out there.
project done last year, that's been looked into, some studies on it, some kind of money. So,
Sure.
$2 million, which is what they talked, the same, we talked about, crosswalks, we talked about.
What about we do, the city have the ability to put in a four-way stop, we have to be required to do it?
We're doing the traffic, we go ahead and do a traffic
Right.
study of those ramps and the intersections on it and stuff. So
Yep.
we're in the process of doing that.
I'm sure it's included in something, that's what it's. Traffic flow study.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, perfect.
Thank you so
Okay,
very much.
Thanks, Trav.
Okay, 7, Chief Reha, you wanna just talk just a minute?
So I had originally asked, like a month ago for this to be added and, just 'cause we're kind of in a hurry, but I think we've narrowed everything down. We had our applications, we've been through the process, but I wanna wait until, the next meeting, the next council meeting to get approval. I wanna wait for the grant, all that kind of stuff. So, I'm not gonna make any proposals tonight.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, 8, new wastewater operator, John?
Come on up.
Well, my name's John Welker. I'm the new wastewater replacement for when Jim retires. I appreciate the job opportunity. I've lived in the community basically all my life. I lived on a farm south of Menlo which had a Stuart address. That's where I grew up. My brothers and I still own the farm. I started in Dexter, like 2015, I believe it was. Worked there in 2018. I moved to, take on the wastewater and water over at Casey. So, I'm a grade 2 there right now. So I'll be, of course, shifting over to here, and I've given, thanks for giving them plenty of notice, so that way they can get my replacement in. I'm excited to, start my new job and be a part of the Stuart team. And, so, anyway, it sounds like I'm kinda getting my feet wet a little bit already with the issues.
So to
with the-
speak.
Yeah, so anyway, but I know it's some big shoes to fill. Jim's been a pretty good wastewater operator for you, but looking forward to him training me and getting me up to speed. So I also wanted to let you know, I've been working with Iowa Rural Water in the training to help me, get ready for my grade 3.
Good.
And that's part of what they do. There was a little misunderstanding on the CEUs I needed. I started working before I was even hired at getting all the free ones, and I come to find out I don't have enough CEUs yet, but I'm working at it and I will get it. So, the confusion is 90 CEUs, unbeknownst to me, that means 900 hours. So, with my experience and what I've built up, I know I took a day off at Casey, went there to Iowa to take a class, so I've been working at getting those CEUs before I even start, so this month of September, I'm been working at it. And I also purchased an online, CEU class from Kirkwood, so with all my free ones, that will be basically 750 of those towards that, so once I get that done, so that was $500 I invested into that. So I'm working at it, and I will continue to work at it. Once I get that done, then I'll keep working up getting more, so I reached that 900. It's a pretty high bar to reach, I didn't realize. But, in Iowa rural water, they didn't realize it either at the time, otherwise I would've, told you, hey, I don't have enough back then. But we will get there, I am working at it, I'm studying every night to get those CEUs, and I will get them in a timely manner, so.
Good.
If by chance, I do, 6 months comes up and I don't have that test passed yet, please don't kill me. But, my plan is to have it passed and have those CEUs before. Actually, the CEUs will help me with my test, I'll kind of need those. So,
Okay.
anyway, that's about all I have, I'm looking forward to starting with the city of Stuart.
I know this answer, John, but when, just for the rest of the community, when are you starting? When's your start date?
October 1st is what we are.
Yep, October 1st. Okay.
Okay, welcome aboard.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Okay,
Thank you.
Jim, you got,
Jim, you wanna talk about the new hiring you wanna have on the street about?
You should all have a copy of
Yeah.
the application. Steve Martinson is a former employee, and instead of shifting around, well, we upped our wages and everything else to where, he's decided that, he missed it when he left, and, it was just for, financial reasons when he left, so he's, looking forward to coming back.
How long ago was he with us?
Probably a year and a half,
motion.
2 years.
Oh, okay. So it hasn't been very long that he's been
No,
gone. Okay.
not that long.
I just can't remember that far back.
And he'll start at 25 an hour, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we need
And
a
then
more,
same thing, he will have 1 year to achieve a grade one
yeah.
wastewater license, just like Josh. Josh is right now currently taking a class in Kirkwood, pre-test class, and, he has until March to take his, but, I think he plans on taking his sometime in October.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion
I'll
by
move.
Calba.
Yeah, we can move.
Do we,
Nope, go ahead.
Can
It's just a
we-
motion.
can we, if it's not on the agenda, I don't, we can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's,
Okay.
we're,
That's good,
Yeah.
I just,
because we're already in the hiring,
yes.
so, we got one motion, we have second?
Second,
Second, how do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
yes.
Russell,
yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kaba.
Yes.
Before we move on,
Yeah.
did we ever get the microphone thing situated? No?
The part is supposed to be in this week, and then they'll get the installation scheduled.
Oh, okay. I'm receiving some text messages
Yeah.
that people
Can't
can't
hear.
hear,
Yeah.
so.
And I looked up there too when people were talking. It's like, oh, I don't see anything, so.
So, just for you guys online, the parts will be in here, next week, so we'll be
We
equipped,
had those
so.
little things sitting there.
Yeah, it is, yeah. we don't
They can
do
hear
that.
Jim, right?
Oh, okay.
9.
9, urban renewal plan amendment. At this time, I open the public hearing. Did you receive any, guys?
No,
Any comments, concerns from the general public? Close the public hearing. B, resolution number 2524C, resolution to approve urban renewal plan amendment for the Stuart urban renewal area.
need a motion.
And that included that information. Okay, I'll move.
By Calba.
Second. Second, how do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kaba.
Yes.
Okay.
10.
10, proposed development agreement with Duncan Construction LLC. At this time, I open the public hearing. Did you receive anything?
No,
Any comments, concerns from general public?
no.
Close the public hearing. D, resolution number 2525C, approving the development agreement. I won't read the whole thing here. Moved.
By Calba.
I'll second it.
Second, how do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kaba.
Yes.
Okay, C, request to place highback on city property pocket park.
Jim.
Jim?
Is Abby here? Abby, do you
Yeah,
wanna
she's
come up?
here. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So here's the situation. Where the stairs are, on the old building, the stairs were there, and then HVAC outdoor unit sat in front of the stairs. There's a block railing that was there. Right now, there's plywood, you'll eventually see that go back in as it was. Since we're doing an HVAC unit for downstairs and upstairs, we need 2 units. 2 units do not fit in that same spot right there. So what I'm asking is, can we put them on the back side, which originally when I was thinking it would be a right-of-way request, but it's not the right-of-way, it's the parcel line resides at the building. So it becomes having to put them, or we put them on the sidewalk side and we have to make a new plan to make the 2 somehow fit there, on the sidewalk side. So my original proposal, which in my personal opinion will look best, not being on the sidewalk, will be there, is that that's on the park side. So that's the picture you see.
Have you considered the roof?
We have considered the roof. These are the problems with the roof. We're at 33 feet. The insurance company really doesn't like that. The old people that have the roof in there, not to say it's not possible, but they didn't have roof access.
Hmm.
So there's no roof access for us.
Ah.
So we can make roof access, but that's a whole nother,
Ball of wax.
yeah. Yeah, there was just, it was one of those bottom of the list of we can. Now we can, the only other option that I see is for the upstairs unit, we could do like a P-TAC unit or something smaller, but it's still a rectangular square box that is gonna have to be outside. 2 units mean 2 units, so wherever the best place that you guys see fit that I can put them, that is outside the building, preferably not on the roof.
Is there any option to mount them to the side of the walls? A lot of times you see residential,
Yep, so we looked,
Mounted.
so on the west side, that's the one wall that was, that's completely original. The HVAC guy highly recommended we don't, over time, put those metal brackets and those units on that wall, as we demoed it, and the stuff just crumbled. So really, I was thinking, it has to be, I have to look at my spacing, I think he said 10 inches back for service points, 10 inches and then 12 inches in between. So if you get them tight to those bushes there, then we can run the line set, if you can touch the basement there where the partial basement is, and then run it up there.
What's the liability being on city property and the scoop the loop there and somebody, residents damage it?
So I, see what you're saying, I guess my question is the same as when it was on the sidewalk in front of the staircase.
Yeah.
And if that's what has to happen, if the upstairs doesn't get HVAC at all, we get 1 unit, we have to put it back the way it is, that's the other option. I mean, there's lots of options, we're to the point where we're ready to do that next step, so I kinda need to know, I gotta apply for this permit, for him and get started on that, so kind of wanting to see what you guys want as the city to see the outside of the building looking like.
The old one,
So-
Jim, did it have a cage around it, a fence around it when it was out on the east side or not?
There's a black metal, like,
It had-
flimsy looking.
It had railing and stuff
Yeah.
on
Right.
the hand railing and stuff, but they did have,
To help protect
they
it?
did have a little heavier screen guard on it, just, because
Right.
it was towards pedestrian traffic. I've talked to Jason Van Alsdale about this topic, and Jason and I both concur that, the west side of the building would be probably for appearance and also for serviceability and stuff, would be the better of the 2 options.
Yeah.
And it's,
What elevation would you want it to be at if you were to put it on the wall?
Sorry, he's with me. He doesn't really do it.
Sometimes it is. Yeah.
I guess just
But
look,
so hanging it on the wall, you can on the new brick side, we can hang it on the wall up there, so then eventually, realistically, I think they have to be stacked. Cause the way the windows lay out, so it's 30 by 30 by 30, so the way the windows lay out, I think we're gonna have to do the one and then stack the next one up on the wall. So
it's
same thing,
it's currently on the sidewalk basically, right? It's on city property right now.
It's in the right of way.
So
in the right of way, by the stairs that go downstairs.
Yeah.
if you just move it around and keep it there,
It's less of an eyesore on,
And you
Fine.
might, there's a few people that lean up against the wall doing scoop the loop when they do the awards and stuff, but if you had, what would you put around it to?
Well,
We
so
would
my
have-
ultimate vision, I guess I'll just share is, I've talked to a couple of people about doing like a Bonnie and Clyde mural or something on that wall there that faces the pocket park. So something that will incorporate on that, we can cover it or
guess I'm looking like to keep it so people don't get up next to it like
Sure.
like a railing or something, you know, I mean,
So, and it's the, excuse me, it's like the rock sidewalk, what do you call that,
Right.
that's what's.
aggregate.
Yeah,
type.
that's
Yeah.
what's on the west side.
Yeah,
So it would sit, there's like a black pad, right, and then it sits on top of the black pad.
Have you looked at maybe scooting it, I'm looking at this picture, scooting it back to the south? I know there's bushes there, and I'm not saying rip out the bushes by no means, I'm not saying that. But I didn't know if there was like an area where they would fit if we pushed them back to the south, where they're not necessarily,
Right out front.
yeah, right out front. I don't know if there's any space back there.
So like between the bushes?
Yeah, like back a little bit further, you know, towards the
Yeah.
south. I don't know if there's a,
There is, I just didn't know, cause he'll have to get in there and dig up, you know,
Sure.
set this, so again, it's an open, if you guys have a spot that you think, hey, we will allow this, that's kind of, cause so, and where the black boxes are, the one you're looking at, that black, line, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that leaves, and then that's also where the red fiber and power and all the other
Yeah.
utility stuff's right there.
oh,
They bored
Okay.
that in already.
Yeah, and that's already, it's there.
okay. I guess for my 2 cents, I can't speak for everybody, but I wouldn't mind seeing, I mean, you're kinda out of options. I don't wanna see it on the east side where the main drag is. That's my preference. I wouldn't wanna see it out there. And just in case somebody did hop over the curb
Sure.
and hit it, that's been known to happen around town every once in a while.
in that area.
Yeah, in that area. So, yeah, if I was going to say that I would be fine with this, I would like to see it on the west side, but I would also like to see if there's any way that we could push them back to the south. I guess that's where I would like to see it, but I don't know where my
And I don't know
teammates
how
are.
you can tell by the picture, but, it's literally on the edge of the concrete, and then it turns to, there's like rock landscaping.
Oh, okay,
So it rides against the edge of the concrete.
sure, okay.
I guess my biggest concern is just in that area, kinda like Corey's saying, I'd like to see them pushed as far back as possible. I mean, these things are gonna run 70, 75 decibels, and that's, you know, vacuum cleaner, and if people are trying to use that pocket park, whether for scoop the loop or other, you don't want a loud vacuum cleaner going off, you know, or running the entire time during the summer when it gets utilized most of the time. So as far back as we can go would be better, in my opinion.
Where's your guys' furnace? Is it more up front, or would it
So the-
work in the back
The
a little
basement
bit?
only goes partially underneath that building.
Oh, it does, okay,
So you
okay.
have to get, and then the chiropractor, you know, we split down the
Yep,
staircase, so
yep.
the basement's, there's not really that much space down there. So we have to get, so our basement is pretty much where that first bush is.
Oh, okay,
So he'll
okay,
run the
okay.
line set pretty much behind it and then down it.
okay, I see what you're saying, sure.
To your points though, we could put a iron rail, but to your point on the sound, you could put a 6-foot privacy fence. And
Yeah, you fin-
A little bit of dictation here on what you're referring to
Yeah.
see, but
Yeah.
I mean, just
keep people
either
out.
one of those
Yeah.
are feasible.
Just be careful with any more enclosed type fence or something like that. You're gonna block in all of that heat that's being generated
Right.
off of that, and you're gonna have issues with your HVAC going forward, so.
Well,
Keep enough
any
clearance
more that
there.
we get, even a railing, there's more on the property,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Yes, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah. You're just kinda taking that whole railing from the east side and you'd be putting it onto the west side,
And
basically.
then the
Yeah.
east side
Yeah.
railing still has to stay because of the stairs.
Right,
Yes.
Oh,
right.
So that, so this, cause the staircase, could you still have to go downstairs, and then the unit used to sit where the head was, so the unit just won't be there, the staircase will still be there with the black.
sure.
Okay, need a motion?
I'll make a motion that as long as they can put it on the west side, as far back to the south as possible, I'll make a motion to go ahead and allow them to do that.
Second?
Would you mind adding something like that
Sure.
to make sure it's, I don't wanna say enclosed, but have some sort of railing,
Yep.
Yeah,
you know, something.
put some kind of
Yeah.
protective area
Yeah,
or
some sort
something.
of protection
Yeah,
on it too, so that's
yeah,
just.
put that in there. Yep,
So, it moved in second?
He's-
Okay, how do you vote then? Kirkpatrick?
yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Russell?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yep.
Kava?
Yes,
Before you leave, Abbott, can you give us an update? Did you tell me it's gonna be quite a while before you get the windows
Well, it
in?
depends on what your version of quite a while is, so right now,
Tomorrow?
I'm hoping I can work out some, we're done with the lift for a little bit.
Okay.
So we need to find somebody nice, that lets park it there. Jim and I talked about maybe we could for at least scoop the lift, you know, get it out of the way.
Right.
But, 9/29 is the day the windows get delivered.
looks great now.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank
it's,
you.
what a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then those interior walls, yeah, 'cause there's some confusion about that, so when you look in, that's still just the temporary walls,
Right.
those could come down.
It's
Have
nice to
some
see it
questions.
straight instead of kind of
Yeah.
leaning
Yeah,
out
yeah,
menacingly
Yeah.
over the street,
yeah.
so.
I did hear there was some bats on when it was gonna fall, so I'm just glad that it
Yeah.
on those temp wall days.
Thank you.
Have
very
you
much.
reached
very
out
much.
to, have you reached out to like the Congregational Church or something, like for that parking area?
Sure,
If you want to
yeah.
put something, or, I don't know, does the
It just-
auction
I
house own
figured-
that now?
It just is
Oh.
sitting there and it's not gonna be used, so I figured instead of it sitting in the
Yeah.
way, if it's anywhere else that, I was trying to make friends with a few different people and it's not working out yet, so if anybody has anywhere, yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Okay. 11, city engineer Forrest. A.
Forest Hollows Green Street, yeah.
Yep.
And the first agenda item is just paperwork exercise. The auditor was in. We did a unit price contract and auditors having troubles with a unit price contract, so this is just the paperwork to make the things balance out. It's a deduct change order of $1,460 to a project from a couple years ago. And it's not changing how much we owe the contractor, how much he's paid, it's just to make the auditor happy.
Okay,
Need a motion.
I'll move that.
Moved.
I'll second.
And second, how do you vote? Patrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kava.
Yes.
Okay, B.
Thank you very much, that'll make Sarah very happy.
Hopefully. She looks at it.
Item number 3 is, related to the financing that the, city has entered into that Chip will talk about next. But, we have some funds for, that are already in the bonds that we've already done, so this money is already accounted for. And this would be to do some street repairs around town, and,
You have a funding source from the bond issue, you may use that if the council wishes to, so. You can save the road use for roads, if you want.
yeah, you save the road use for another type project. These are just a map of the
Thank you.
roads that we're looking to do, or the streets in town we're looking to make repairs on. One more. So the roads that we're looking at, starting from the bottom, would be, South Seventh, east of McDonald's. The Motel 6 access would still be maintained, but we have to close the park while we're making, street improvements there. They would be, Division, right south of the railroad tracks, repairing, if you look, the gutters are in pretty bad shape, so this is just, repairing milling out and putting in new asphalt in the gutters on Division, in front of the, park. And then it's repaving the 2 access roads into the soccer park, going to the parking lots, both from the west and to the south. I have not, but, time for that. It is, up on North Sixth, on the east side of Division, there's a half a block there where the street's really falling apart. Making repairs there, and then on Harlan, there's some areas of the pavement where, like, wheel ruts have kind of sunk down the edges of the streets, and repairing those. So that's, those are the street improvements that Jim and I looked at and the plan that came up with. And, this agreement before you would be to put together, engineering documents for that. for plans and specifications and taking bids. I know Jim would really like to have this done this fall, but by the time you look at time to put the plans and specs together, go out for bids, take action on those bids, we're gonna be pretty late fall here, and I don't know if a contractor, the asphalt plants might still be open, but they might be full. So we'll just have to see. My guess is it'll roll into next spring.
What's a little area? I'm thinking by looking on this, it might be in front of Mark and Carrie Tissel's.
Yes,
What happened there, or what?
that is kind of an issue that wasn't addressed when the Safe Routes to School sidewalk was put in. There had to be a crosswalk sidewalk put in.
Oh.
And the way it's pitched and the way it drops to the existing asphalt
Oh.
is not good.
Oh, I
So
guess
the
I've never paid
concrete's fine.
attention.
It's the transition to the old asphalt.
Oh, okay.
Just
So
fix
it
that
needs to be
intersection.
milled out and a longer taper put in there so
Oh.
that it's not a drop when you come from, especially when you come from the east going west,
Okay.
it'll rattle your teeth.
Oh, I've never paid attention. Okay.
Is the one just north of that, is that the one like where there's that washout at Pieces?
Part of it's there, part of it's south of there. Pease's washout's a separate deal, but it's on the list to be fixed this fall yet.
Okay. Perfect.
We need a motion, and that would be
For
to,
the approve the agreement.
the
engineering.
agreement, and we'll be using the money that will be allocated from the bond, from the bond issue that we have money left over.
Yes.
Okay, moved by Calvo,
That is our moving.
I'll second it.
Second. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kaba.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thanks, Forrest.
Thanks, Forrest.
12, resolution number 2523C. You wanna talk about this a minute? Or Chip?
Good evening, Chip Schultz, just I'll briefly go over the handout. So each time the city has a bond issue that goes out in the bond market, we will call the preliminary order period. We did that this morning. City got really good reception from the bond market. The second page of the bound handout reviews some of the highlights I'll go over. So the average rate that we're looking at is 5.17%, has a final maturity of 2045. The principal is basically wrapped around your existing TIF paid debt. Something that's unique, given that it's wrapped around, about 95% of the principal is callable, able to be paid off at the city's direction. Versus interest rates we're looking at in April, May, and July, the city's saving about $314,000 of interest costs. You've seen a really good rally in the bond market, rates have gone down. I saw a headline today, mortgage rates are at 6 month lows. You're hitting the market at a great time. So that, if you look out just through 2029, the annual debt service cost savings, which during that period is interest only, it's about $30,000 a year. So that makes the city's TIF cash flow situation a lot better during that period of time, given the lower annual debt service. So the timeline is broken out at the bottom. Tonight's action locks in the interest rates. Closing will occur on September 24th if you proceed with tonight's action. We'll call in the short-term debt on October 9th. And I'll hit a few highlights on the following pages. So this graph on page 3 of 12, this is the 10-year U.S. Treasury over the past 3 months. And if you look at where we're at the right side, you couldn't be hitting the market at a better time. So that's, I think the city should be completely thrilled with that. Looks awesome. Timing couldn't be better. Next page, page 4. This shows the municipal bond market. It's a MMD, is an index followed by folks that trade in the bond market. If you look at column J, the green shading, that's the change in rates over the past 5 This is, the column C is principal and interest on bond issues and development agreements. I layered in column E the principal payments only on the long-term debt. I just showed principal only because if you look at the payments in column C, they're fairly elevated, as we've talked about many times, through June of 2029. After that, they drop off. So when the existing payments drop off, the new payments in column E start to kick in and continue thereafter through 2045. That's principal only on the proposed debt. The following page after that, page 6, is both principal and interest. Same information in column C and D, and then the total TIF paid debt is broken out in column G. So there's a lot more room after 2030. The debt drops off, particularly beginning in 2031, 32, 07. City's in pretty comfortable shape with that.
It drops off a lot. Yeah.
Big time, you bet. So after 2030, there's development agreements that are out there, but basically after 2037, principally after 2034, this will be your only bond issue that's outstanding at that point in time. Currently. So this locks in the rates for the financing. I'll keep it brief out of respect for folks' times. I'm glad to answer questions that you might have.
Now, we need a motion to approve resolution 2523C.
I'll move.
Second.
Second, how do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Cobal.
Yes.
Thanks, Chip.
Thanks, Chip.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Chip. Okay, 13, economic development. Matt,
He's hiding.
Okay. First one, in your packet is a proposal for me to take on code enforcement of the new housing developments, the housing developments that have been a city and sea collaboration. As we had a conversation with somebody earlier today, some of the housing developments do have different covenants. I understand why some people would not want to take that on, so I'm willing to take that on, so that's our proposal.
our normal code enforcement guy, I'd rather have him stick with the, what I call an inner city, with a lot of bigger problems we have. And out there you have campers and boats and odds and ends and
What,
Why is it that, oh, sorry, Mike, go ahead.
I was just saying, so you're just wanting to take on this extra work for no compensation, or?
Right, I'm not asking for more compensation, no.
What if,
The building, those housing developments were something that was, when I was on the city council, that's something that I was part of when I got started. And it's disappointing
I get
to
it.
see people taking advantage of program and not abiding by some of the rules that they agreed to and signed when they take ownership.
Do you have an objection of just doing everything? Entire city? And I'm not saying that you would do it for nothing, but maybe if you had like a 3-month period to see how it went, you know, maybe look at some of the blighted homes around here, not necessarily just out at Longbold, and hopefully there's no blighted homes out there, but, you know, this way we're consistent instead of having 2 different people. And then if it works out, you know, we could have somebody local taking care of the city.
I wouldn't rule it out, and I'll be honest, I'm not doing this, I don't want to make, I'm not here, I don't want to be booting anybody out, I'm not saying I'm not here to cause waves or aggravation with anybody. My goal is to start solving some problems for the community. That's
it's our job to make it as efficient as possible, and when you have two different people doing code enforcement, you know, truly, they should be handling the Wambold issue also. And I know we had some hesitancy, you know, and I believe we had referred this, I can't remember who was all here, I think maybe everybody but Craig. We referred it to Steve Brick to resolve that issue, and still we couldn't get our code enforcement to go out and enforce that out there. So, I mean, if you're willing to do it, personally, I'd like to see you do the whole city. We give you a 3-month trial, see how you do, which I'm sure you do fine. I know you got a background in this, you know. And then if it's something that you feel you can't take on, maybe we could look at something to, instead of him doing it for free, out of the goodwill of his heart, we could look at some sort of compensation there. That way, maybe we're cutting down on travel time and paying for somebody to drive all the way out here from Des Moines. We got somebody local that can address stuff a lot quicker.
Has it,
I'd be open to reviewing that if you want to do that might also, but I,
Just throwing it out there.
okay.
Just
I
throwing it
just
out
want to say, I believe the mayor is comfortable with contracting service and not that. So if the mayor is fine with that,
Well, it's kind of our choice. That's why I wanted to throw it out there to say, hey, you know, we don't have to get, I'm not saying we get rid of anybody right now, but maybe we give it to you on a 3-month basis, see how it goes. And then if we need to pare it back to where you're just doing Wambold and we have some, I can't remember, what's his name?
Harrison.
Thank you. Come out and do it, so be it, you know. But again, I think it's our job to try to make it as cost-effective for the citizens and as efficient for the city to do that also. I don't know if we get charged for drive time when he comes out, so, yeah, and I know it's not like 3 or 4 hours of drive time, but still, it's drive time coming out. So, that's, again, just throwing it out there.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe it's something, maybe Matt takes on a trial period of this, sees whether he likes it or not, because, I mean, it is a totally different game, I guess, because different set of rules out there. But I know that there have definitely been people, I think the stigma now is when you purchase a house or if you build a house, yeah, you have this covenant and you have all these rules, but no one enforces them. I mean, people know that now. And so maybe it's something, well, Matt takes this on and enjoys it, and it's something that's reviewed in 3 months or whatever, and then look from there. I'm just looking at it 2 other ways.
I see what you're saying, and if you give him the whole thing, then he knows both of them in that first 3 months. You know, you're not like, well, 3 months here, I gotta come over here and decide if I want to do it, the whole
Yeah.
thing for another 3 months. Hey, you know, it's either too much or something, I don't know, you know, in that 3 months to handle both of them.
And I don't
Because
know
if
how long our contract is with that either, when that expires.
I don't know.
so how many different sets of covenants is out there currently?
well, there's 4 developments. I know that the fences change on some of them. I have to look at the
In
covenants.
each development, there's different covenants.
Yes.
Many the same, but there are some tweaks.
Yes.
That would be tough. Do you think they could be consistent with one another, or no? I don't
That's
know.
what I would think, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you just, here's the covenants for the first one, they work for the second one, they work for the third. Who's
Require going
changing?
door to door.
Each resident having their own signed legal documents that require attorneys.
No,
It would be possible,
I'm-
but it
Yeah,
would
but-
require.
I'm not putting you on the spot by no means, Matt. I'm not
Right.
jamming it down your throat, but I'm just asking a question. And so why did the covenants change? Is it just because of the next phase of the development? We thought of something different and said we better add that in there, or is that what
I
happened?
believe as an example,
Okay.
fences, privacy fences, the wood fences were put up in World War I, and then, the time World War II came around, they deteriorated and people weren't able to keep up on them, and so they
So they changed it.
As I've stated in there, the covenants, those covenants are, we're agreed on between seed and the city, and those are to protect the city's investment.
So my next final question here, I might find it, I don't know. Anyway, so what happens, I'm just gonna run a scenario here. So what happens, you have a resident that's not complying with your asking, and you have to move forward. Who pays that bill? If it has to go to legal,
The city does.
but,
It'd be the same as if, it'd be, now, because there's code ordinances that have to be followed as well. So that if you're going up against them for lawn mowing, let's say,
Sure.
grass can be a foot, and you address that the same as what the city already currently does. So,
just for that code, not the covenants part.
correct.
So if it's a covenants issue out there, the city's out. Because we've already talked about, because we're not sending out the regular code enforcement officer out there because of you guys having the covenants and stuff out there. So the code enforcement doesn't go out there. So, go ahead.
It's in the city code to enforce the covenants.
It'd be the
he's
same way.
supposed-
He would just be the code enforcement guy for out there. The city would still be, on the hook for anything. If someone has a
A
shed
junk car or
shed
something,
that doesn't match, or
Yeah.
is parked a car in the lawn.
I think Cooley was concerned about the covenant, if somebody violating the covenant. I can see what
But
Cooley's
that would go
getting
the same as the code.
See, and I thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm probably wrong here, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I thought when all this came about, the covenants, everybody out there had to abide by the covenants, that the city wasn't going to use Harrison. The city wasn't going to hire Harrison to go out there and force codes, because we was gonna use that money in the older part of town, the existing part of the town, because they had the covenants out there. I thought we talked about that, and maybe I'm wrong. Yeah? Okay.
Dave, you got
I could be wrong too, but I remember us having a conversation in one of these meetings where the covenants were not enforceable. So that, like, the residents would have to hold their neighbors accountable for violations.
have their own
That's
group.
what it was.
Dave would have to go
Yeah.
after me. Okay.
Yeah.
So like the neighbors would have to file something in civil court and say, hey, you're not following the covenant. And that's why we as a city couldn't enforce it. The codes we can, because they're city code.
Okay.
That was my understanding, but
Yeah,
I could be
but
wrong.
not
I
the
think it's-
Yeah. I think that's what I was getting at, yeah,
I do remember that.
yeah.
But
So-
Matt, just remember, if you take this on, the first part, your phone number's gonna be out there. You better have broad shoulders,
He
because
does.
that's just that area, and then if you would, eventually if the council decides to have the whole city,
So I guess that goes back to Corey's question then.
Yeah.
Someone puts up a wooden privacy fence and you're not supposed to.
So,
You knock on their door and say, yeah, you can't do that.
yes, the city can. The ordinance 21-03C, amending section 50 or 50.03 of the Stuart Municipal Code. City council had already passed that ordinance.
That's, I thought we sent this to Steve Brick to work that out with the covenants and the codes, and he got it fixed to
Yes.
where everything could be enforced out there. And our code guy could do it.
Right.
I remember prior to doing that, we had the issue where, well, they're different, so we weren't gonna do that, but that's, I mean, I don't see us spending money sending it to Steve Brick and not having a resolution to it. And I know we got a resolution to it, and I'm trying to find it here, and I won't be able to, I'm sure. Oh, there it is. May 1st of May 10th of 2021. violation of restricted covenants and restrictions on the, within the city limits. Section 2, repealer all ordinances or part of ordinances in conflict with the provision. Oh, you're gonna have to read it for yourself. Oh, here we get there. No. But it is in there.
That the city is going to enforce the covenants part of?
That was before we would have joined.
So it says an ordinance to amend section 50.03 of the Stuart Municipal Code to include, so we're going to include violation of the restrictive covenants on platted property within the city as defined nuisances subject to municipal enforcement. So we included the covenants in our code. So our code enforcer can enforce the covenants now.
And they just chose not to? Is that?
Yes, 'cause they,
is
yes.
Has there been talk of maybe a homeowners association out there? Or anything like that? No? You don't want that, or nobody else wants
This
that?
guy declined,
Oh,
and this
they-
guy declined.
Yeah, they-
Okay, don't.
I think it's a great idea, I just don't wanna be on it.
Yeah, sure.
Nobody wanted
In
For the
fact,
next one, maybe?
I think when we first started talking about this, that was one of the things the attorney said, is that that should have been set up by the developer at the beginning. What these covenants are here, and then it moves into a homeowners association, and it didn't get, so there's where you found, that's where it started. But we did amend our code to include the restrictive covenants out there, so our code enforcer could enforce the restrictive covenants out there.
I would like to think that if you went politely, and I know you're a polite person, Matt, if you just had a conversation with somebody, somebody'd probably get into compliance really quick. I don't think you'd have any problems with anybody out there, except for maybe this guy down here. But no, but no, I like to think that the people they're good people, and they're gonna have a conversation with you and do whatever it takes to, yeah. So, okay.
I guess my concern would be, not fully understanding how our current code enforcement works, do we have a backlog currently of code
Yes.
complaints that haven't been taken
Yes.
care of, and here we're
Addressed.
given preferential treatment to those developments where other people have put in complaints, where really it should be a first in, first out. Matt should be assisting, or somebody should just be working through that backlog. And if they happen to come across one that is that, well, that could go directly to Matt versus to Harrison in that case. But we shouldn't be giving that treatment to the new development when there are this backlog currently out there.
30 or 40 right now, and we've
Yeah.
got how many final notices right now? 5, 6,
Several.
7, ready to get bids to go clean up.
So that's my concern with doing something like that. I mean, I think we need help, but I don't think we should be given preferential or preferred treatment to resolving code issues out there versus everything else that's in the city.
Sure.
The
Yeah,
mayor
that's a
is
good point.
doing a good job on that stuff, and it's working.
We're ready right now to get quite a few properties, but it takes the person that's gonna clean it up plus Harrison to say what needs to be taken, because the guy just can't go in and clean up without Harrison be there, and a police officer's gonna have to be there.
Yep.
It should happen shortly on a lot of them.
So if we allow Matt to do this, do we need a motion on that, or
Yeah,
just tell him to?
Yeah, we can make a motion, so he will be kind of.
So, go ahead, Matt, no, you go ahead.
I was just curious, are you guys leaning towards motion to have them like do like the backlog, or?
To help work through all the existing issues and not just focus currently on the new
So
development.
basically do both,
Yes,
okay.
kind of a first in, first out, whatever
Sure,
the
yeah.
oldest one is that still needs work, we work on that, we get through, then yeah,
Is that your motion?
that would
that-
be my motion.
Would you even be wanting to do that?
I don't know, that's quite a bit of work, there's still, still have economic development to do, so.
Maybe that's
I-
something we can look at, but I do like your idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I would say you do it as your time allots. You know, if you're gonna be helping with the backlog and stuff, on that.
And review it in 3 months. If you still like to do it or not.
Alright. If you can do one a month, that's one more than Harrison was able to get to at that point,
Right.
so.
Right.
Okay, moved by Russell,
I'll second that.
Second, how do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yeah.
Russell,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kaba.
Yes.
Now B,
Fifteen.
13B.
In your packet was the, two bids, two requests for quotes for the sidewalk for the All Saints Lot 33 stormwater retention basin sidewalk.
So we just need a
We originally approved 5,000.
5,000,
I think
yeah.
it came up to what
couple
now,
thousand
7?
more. Yeah.
If you're okay with it, we need a motion.
So you got, Scott Concrete came in at 7,036, and Southern Construction came in at 8,071.
I was curious on just looking over their bids, and maybe they're just filling in boxes, and it wouldn't matter because their bottom dollar's their bottom dollar, but the seating for Scott Concrete, like the concrete itself was way lower in price, but then $2,000 in type 1 seating. Whereas the other one was much higher in the concrete and labor, and then $75 in seating.
Scott Concrete, he plumped up onto that very expensive. And
Okay, I was just wondering, like, is there, like, possibly in that seating thing, like, hey, we'll throw Jim out there because he's bored and he can seed for $100.
He is here. He said it right in front of him.
You're gonna be here soon, Jim, so.
I actually gotta thank, both of them for, I sent out the request on a Thursday before a holiday weekend, and they claimed to get the emails, they didn't get to until Tuesday. Both of these contractors gave me proposals within like 24 hours. So, actually, I gotta thank both of the contractors for willing to do that. You know, unfortunately, one of them didn't get the bid, but the reason that's like that is because it was on a short notice.
Okay,
Otherwise, it would have been another month.
I was just curious.
Need a motion for to approve the 7,000.
I would make the motion to accept the Scott
Okay.
Concrete bid.
Moved and second. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kaba.
Yes.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay.
Thanks, Matt.
Any questions on the economic development report?
So we got our camera up over
Yeah,
yonder
at the depot.
at the depot.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So, good deal.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 14, A.J. Horton resigned from the utility board, and Charles Herrick had put in an application. I'd like to make an appointment of him.
Okay. You need a motion on that?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do each one individually.
Okay, I'll make a motion to appoint Charles Herrick.
Move.
I'll second.
Second, how do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly.
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kaba.
Yes.
Okay, and the next one, Brian Belton's term's up at the end of this year, and I'd like to reappoint him, and my reasoning is because if he doesn't get appointed by the end of this year, the start of next year, if we had a utility meeting, say January 3rd, we'd be out of utility member until their next meeting.
So wouldn't that make more sense to do the reappointment in November or December when their term is up? And then
Well, I
it
just
carries
did-
over into
I mean,
January?
that's fine.
I mean, I thought we had talked about this
Yeah.
a few months ago, and we pushed it off saying, let's wait until the term was a lot closer, or
Okay, well, as long as
was
you
at
write
that
it down,
point.
Mr. Mayor,
so we'll have it.
you did, table this at one point because we were looking for applications.
And then-
And if you wanna make an appointment, you can make an appointment anytime you want to, I believe. It's,
Yeah.
that's your job to
We
make an
didn't have
appointment.
anybody else.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you appoint him now or in 2 months,
Well, that's what I say, I'm gonna appoint him regardless, whether it be November, December, whatever.
yeah. So,
I mean, he's got 20 years' experience with the city.
I agree.
And I don't, and I agree with Craig too, and it's not about the person, it's
Yeah.
about the position.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what we gotta look at, it's the position. Yeah, I think Brian does, a good job. He's a smart guy and everything else, but, yeah, and I'm more for if the position isn't, if it expires later, I don't understand why we're doing it now either, so.
Well, just put
I
it,
don't know.
put it on the agenda for November, December.
You can do whatever you want,
Yeah.
Mayor, that, like
I
Mike
mean-
said, you can do whatever you want.
Well, I
but-
did the appointment, but
Well, do you
I
make an
figured
appointment?
if you need, yeah, that's my appointment. It's up to you guys to make the motion.
I'll motion it.
I'll
then.
second.
Moved and second, okay. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
No,
Dolly,
Yes.
Russell,
No.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kavah.
Yes.
Okay, Historic Preservation Commission, Cappy Tom
Hmm?
said she'd take this position, so I'd like to make an
Really?
appointment for her.
that'd be
I'll,
nice.
I'll move that.
Moved
Second that.
and second, how do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes,
Dolly,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kavah.
Yes.
is she the only one on there currently? Is that the only one we
My
have?
my
And
brother's
Rob-
on there,
Bob is, okay,
and
Wow.
we're we need people on there, but
sure,
I don't know.
okay.
And then, now we go to public forum. And
Did you do a board of adjustments or you're not?
County.
don't have it.
Oh, you don't have, oh,
I
okay.
thought I had one, but Susie's term isn't up till, yes, Sarah?
They're talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the tourism, yeah.
Tour- Oh.
Yep.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't have this.
When was Susie's term up?
Next year.
Oh,
I
next year.
thought it was this year.
Oh. So, yeah, so Greg is coming off of the Adair County Board, or the,
Yeah,
yeah,
and Sarah's taking on.
okay. Do we need a
Need a
motion on
motion.
that one? Okay, I'll make that motion.
Moved,
Second.
second, how do you vote? Kirkpatrick?
Yes,
Dolly?
Yes.
Russell?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Kavah?
Yes.
Thanks, Sarah.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, public forum.
Okay, we wanna,
Oh, Chip's coming.
Chip,
Oh,
Chip's
no.
got some more.
come on.
So I have work that I need to do with the police rescue street folks.
Yes,
That's
sir.
not done, just wanna acknowledge that, I'll get there, so.
We know you will.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks,
Okay,
Chip.
this letter is addressed to Mayor Cook, Administrator Ash, and members of the city council. Please accept this letter of my formal resignation from the position of Stuart City Council effective September 9th, 2025. It's been an honor to serve our community. I'm grateful to have this opportunity to have worked alongside such dedicated public servants. I remain committed to supporting the city in any way I can during this transition. Thank you for your opportunity to serve. Sincerely, Dave Dole. And Dave, I want
Thank you, Dan.
I want
Thank
personally
you.
thank you
I don't think
for
we
your
can
service
accept
to the
that.
city.
Who was it that told me I couldn't retire?
Yeah, resignation not accepted.
You can.
Yeah, it's been
We
a pleasure.
can, just 5 more years.
Don't accept.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, Jim, did you wanna say anything about the tree on Division?
Oh, there is a tree that needs to be removed in an emergency condition. It is split clear to the ground.
Oh,
I
nice.
took Mayor Cook today to look at it, and he was nervous standing beside it.
What? You hear it cracking.
So I have a contractor that will be there in the morning to remove it.
Where at on Division?
It is 407 South Division.
Okay.
Next to that great
Big
big
house,
white
Peggy
house,
Olson.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Peggy Olson's house.
Okay, wow.
Before half of it ends up on the house.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Just real quick, we've been getting a lot of complaints out at Quick Star about semis parking. Me and Jim work together on that. He's got signs coming. So I know there's been a lot of complaints that we probably didn't bring up in the public forums, even though it is getting worked on, so.
Okay.
Cool, good deal.
I talked to a person on the landfill commission, and I've talked to Jim. We have a big problem over at the recycle bins. We're getting styrofoam and plastic, and people are real happy, think they're doing a good job recycling. But if you have so much garbage in that gets dumped on the ground, loaded up, and taken to a semi in Perry as trash.
Hmm.
So if you see somebody dumping illegally, or get the word out. You can't put the plastic, the styrofoam, metal, and different things like they've been doing.
And I will note that there are good cameras up there,
Yeah.
and they do get,
Yeah, they get some of
license
them.
plates, so.
Also, when that is dumped and shifted over to garbage as opposed to recycling, that is weighed and billed to the city.
Okay. Yeah,
So get the word out to the general
Yeah.
public, and if you have something you think is garbage, Jim's got a dumpster right there.
Put that out there?
No,
No, no,
they
no.
just got, and then
Every day.
another thing is, as far as trash day, there's a lot of cardboard in with the trash. You're supposed to have 2 33-gallon bags of trash. We got recycle uptown, take it up there.
Either that or by,
Another thing with the recycling, they're taking, last week, my brother went to dump the Boy Scouts bin, and there was 4 huge, bags of plastic recyclable.
Yep.
And they do the same thing at the park,
Ah.
recyclable, and we don't take plastic.
oh, wow.
But
Okay.
we take it and send it for free. So,
I didn't know that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alright.
Anything else, public forum?
Thank you.